Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I have got a very, very exciting parcel to open with you today. I've had to make myself wait till this morning, and you can see I've just kind of I've still got wet hair. I've pretty much jumped out the shower, grabbed a cup of coffee, and I'm straight up here because this arrived yesterday evening and I didn't have time to open it. Or not to open it on camera. There was a temptation to rip it all open straight away, but I thought no, let's save it. Now this all came about when a lovely lady called Shell contacted me by email. You might recognise Shell leaving comments here on YouTube, and she's also in our Discord community where she's known as Shell. Shell. Sadly, she recently lost her dear mother-in-law, Beryl, and Shell had the job of going through Beryl's stash of crafting supplies. Now, if anybody's ever done this, I know I have, going through a serious crafter's hoard of supplies for all kinds of different crafts. It sounds like she was into lots of different kinds of crafts. Is no mean feat. It's a huge job, and Shell got in touch with me to see if I would like some fabrics, and I said yes. But it's actually been quite a while since I've had a little stash of fabrics come in, so I thought, and I've cleared some space recently, so I thought, oh, that would be lovely, yes please. So she asked me about what I might like. It sounds like there were all sorts of different kinds of fabrics. I'm pretty open to anything really. I just kind of said I quite like bright colours and deeper colours, but I'll work with anything really, and I like different textures and patterns. I'll make good use of it. I'll be grateful for whatever you send. So I'm not sure at all what to expect. I have literally just slashed open the top of the box but carefully and taken a note out which I found inside, and that's all I've done. Now what I wasn't expecting was this absolutely massive, I can't even lift this box up to show you. I did have some idea when Shell said to me I had to take a few bits out to keep it under the 10k 10kg. Oh my word. So it's a heavy box. I'm not going to try and lift it up with the camera. I'm going to pull up a little bit at a time to go through with you. So let's go to the desk and find out what's inside this box of beautiful bits and pieces from Beryl's craft room. I'm so excited. Hang on, lost my mouse. So here's a little note from Shell. Dear Annie, hope you enjoy these materials and they bring you joy. They're already bringing me joy. Just the anticipation of opening this parcel this morning got me out of bed. I've tried to pick out materials with the colours you mentioned, hoping you will make use of the majority of your new stash. I'm sure I will. I love the challenge actually of just using whatever I'm presented with. I can't even remember the last time I went out and specifically bought fabric for a specific project. I honestly can't remember the last time I would have done that. So yeah. Have a great day. It's already a great day, Shell. Right, let's put that over there so I don't lose it. And let's go in. I wish I could show you. It's just too big. I literally can't get it on the desk. What I'm going to have to do is stop myself chatting the way I usually do, because this could be hours. So these are all beautiful cotton prints. Oh, look at the colours. Yum, 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 yum. Lovely little ditzy prints. Oh, I love that. Oh, this piece of plain. It's always good to have some plain as well. And of course, I think these will count as vintage because we don't know how long Beryl would have been hanging on to some of these things. But I think the fact that they're from somebody's craft stash, who's probably been collecting for a number of years, I think probably I can count these as vintage, which means I could use some of these pieces in my vintage stitch ring project as well. Oh look, huge piece of this. I said to Shell I can use really quite small pieces. I can use big pieces as well, but you know, smaller pieces than you might think I can make good use of. This is absolutely fabulous, isn't it? Look at the colours. Lots of four pieces, kind of cushion sized pieces. I wonder if she's going to make cushions. Oh, I recognise this fabric. I expect other people will recognise this design as well. It's a William Morris print, isn't it? I think lots of us will recognise this. Oh, I mean, look. I always try and show my goose pimples on camera, and I'm never sure if they come out or not. Or they're going all down my back. The goose pimples of excitement, and also the dribbling has started. Oh, what a beautiful shade of green that is. I hope my camera's going to do all right with the colours here. Look at these. Oh, these are absolutely blooming gorgeous. Look at that. You can speed through this bit if you don't want to hear me going, oh! Oh, look. So pretty. Look at that. I can see some of these definitely finding a home in my vintage stitchery project. Definitely. This is an unusual one, isn't it? Quite a huge piece of it too. That would be really fun to stitch into with different textures and things. It's a nice, it feels like a batik kind of a fabric, and it's got that thing where it's the same both sides, so I think it's like a batik print, but unusual to see it lines like that. I think I'm just going to leave these as flat as possible for now, and afterwards I'll go through them all again. Perhaps sort them into colours or something and find a new home for them. It's like I've made some space just recently. Look at this beautiful print. Oh, look, lovely mustard yellow. Oh, that is gorgeous. It's huge too. It all feels really nice quality. Safe to say Beryl had a nice eye for colour and design, and bought nice quality fabrics to work with, which it just makes it so much more of a joy to do, doesn't it, if you're working with really nice fabrics. This nice mix of larger, medium and tiny prints, which is always lovely when you're mixing fabrics together. You don't want all kind of ditzy prints, and you don't want all big bold ones either. You want a good mix, I think, anyway. I can't tell. This is just... I've been kind of feeling a new Kawandi coming on, and I've never done a full size kind of bed size or even kind of lap quilt size Kawandi before, and I'm kind of wondering if this might be the time. And pieces like this are just lovely to use in when I'm doing my vintage stitchery, working through Christine's dictionary of stitches, because I've got some lines there and things to follow as well. I think these colours would fit in quite well as well, so I might, yeah. Some of this is definitely going to end up in that dictionary of stitches. This is inside out. Let's turn it the right way. Oh, look. What a lucky girl I am. Oh, lovely piece of, this is upholstery velvet. Oh, there's a pin in there. Look at that. Let's keep that to one side. I'm going to put that with the note over there. So I might put that pin in my dictionary of stitches, my vintage stitchery. I love having little pieces of velvet to use just for a difference in texture. When you're doing little things like the squares for the swap and that kind of thing, just having little pieces, quite small pieces you can use of velvet. I love it. You've got all these different patterns and textures within it. Really nice. Perhaps I'll keep the velvet in a separate pile. Put that over there a minute. Oh, this is another different texture too, kind of a waffle cotton. Oh, look at those two together. Oh, the camera's making this go a bit darker than it is. Quite dark, but it's the camera's losing the purple and the green in it. Beautiful. I think I might put the differently textured ones perhaps to one side. No, I won't. I'm just going to get too complicated, aren't I? I'll go back through after. These are lovely, huge pieces of the well. I mean, most of them, we're not talking small scraps. I'd have been quite happy with small scraps. This feels lovely. It's a really fine cotton, this one. Okay, another watch. I'm going to have to speed myself up. It must have taken you ages just to put this together, Shell. There's a lovely, soft, kind of almost a mushroomy, pinky kind of print there. I just know there's going to be there's going to be fellow stitchers out there drooling at this. Definitely. These are so gorgeous. Always another batik kind of print. You can just have the feel of it, can't you? The cotton always feels so lovely, and it's the same both sides, which is really nice. Love it. Always love the colours and the kind of organic patterns in it. Beautiful. Oh, I think I'd have got on with you, Beryl. Another kindred soul. Oh, how beautiful these are. Just look. I'm speechless. I'm not even halfway through. The enormity of this is beginning to hit me now. It's massive. I'm going to so enjoy going back through these after and sorting them out a little bit, perhaps into colours, maybe. But yeah, separate out the planes, because it is lovely. It is really useful. You do need the planes as well to set everything else off. And for things like, again, it strikes me that this colour would fit in quite nicely with my vintage stitchery, to have some plain pieces to do the sample stitches on, drawn thread work and stuff like that. So pretty. I'm going to attempt to start whizzing through a bit without saying anything, but you know what I'm like. You can always put me on speed. If anybody doesn't realise, just go to the oh, hang on, I can't even point. Here, it's about here, the bottom. Look for the little cog icon. It might be different on a phone. Click on that, and then say it's something like adjust speed settings, and then if you click on that, you can make it 1.5 times, 1.75 times, or 2 times the speed. Also on the other side over here, there should be the volume icon. Yeah, you can put me on mute as well. You don't have to listen to my waffle. I think some people don't realise you can do these things. I haven't seen a single piece yet that's made me go, ooh, don't like that. I love it all. But there are some pieces that are definitely jumping out as like, oh, that's one of them. The batik. I mean, it's just all lovely. It would be very hard to. William Morris. Love that mustard colour. There was a green there that particularly I just thought, oh, look at that. And this bright. But they're just all absolutely gorgeous. And as I say, it all feel really nice quality. Look at that colour. It is coming up fairly well on the camera as well. And it's just such lovely quality that it's going to be really nice to stitch into. And this one's inside out, so... And I like fabrics. A lot of these, this would be the case, but are just crying out to have stitching added to them. You know, stitch into those flowers, stitch into the squares. I mean, you've got kind of stitch shapes on there, haven't you? You could actually add real stitch into them in chunkier threads. And yeah, I love things like that just, especially if you do things like making the little swap squares. The fabric almost kind of does it for you sometimes. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at those colours. Wow. There's a lot of beautiful autumnal shades in here. And I'm thinking, I wonder if it might make sense to split these into colours a little bit, and I could do some kind of seasonal quilts or something. Oh, I know what else I thought about doing. It's one of those kind of I've seen it done with knitting. I'm sure people have done it with stitching as well, where you do a quilt where you do a piece for every day, and you do it in a colour that represents the temperature of that day, or your mood of that day, or whatever. So I wonder if something like that might be fun. I don't even. I've gone a bit speechless at the moment. I'm just going to keep going and try not to talk too much. Oh look! Shh. I can't stop. Wow, that's really vibrant. It's a bit, because of some of the dark parts in it, the camera's fighting it a bit, but it's got some gold. I don't know if it will pick that up. Some gold print in it and beautiful rusty colours, and yeah, I love it. There's like a teal blue in here. I'm not sure that's showing too well. Again, it's making me itch to stitch. Another lovely piece of batik, look. Oh, look at this. This is a whole fat quarter. I used to fold these. I used to love folding the fat quarters, cutting and folding them. It was one of my favourite jobs. We had a certain way we folded them, slightly differently to that. But look at this. This looks a bit William Morris as well. I mean, I don't know what to say. I feel like I'm not sounding appreciative enough. Okay, I'm really going to have to go quiet and just whiz through it because there is a lot here. I'll just stop if there's anything to particularly explain. But otherwise, I think maybe I'll go through and I'll speed this up and put some music or something, maybe even, because literally I haven't even gone halfway through yet. So my hands are a bit shaky with excitement. Oh, it's a lovely one to stitch into as well. I might just have to at least go through and pick out some that I think would be particularly useful in my vintage stitchery book. Just stopping briefly just to say I'm utterly gobsmacked. My ghast is flabbered. Wow. It's just, yeah, it's mind-blowing, and I feel so inspired just going through these beautiful fabrics. I am now about halfway through. I've been going for half an hour. I'm going to have to speed up this bit, I think. Wow, that is the most beautiful, quite big piece of gorgeous velvet in, well, the camera's not quite doing it, it's just the most beautiful soft bluey green. Absolutely beautiful. I have to do something special with that because that's a huge piece. Okay, the very last piece. I'm utterly blown away. I need to get this the right way out so we can see the colour. It's a huge piece again. You can't fully appreciate the colour and pattern, the scale I've got here, but I'm going to take my face out of the way and keep that for my thumbnail, I think, because it's so lovely and colourful. Let's hide that a minute. Let's hide this old muggins. I'm kind of lost for words. That is that I can't find my words. Cheryl, thank you so much for sending those. I'm blown away. There is so much scope there. Beryl, thank you, Beryl. I feel quite a little bit emotional as well, just to because it was really sweet of Shell to take the time and trouble to send this to me, and also to send me these pieces that had been collected up by her mother-in-law, Beryl. It's a really, you know, it's difficult to let things go, and it's and sometimes it's a bit easier if, you know, you can find a good home for things. My craft room is actually mentioned in my will. I mean, I haven't got a lot that's worth much, but I know there's a lot of stuff in this craft room that other people would be able to make good use of, and I would hate to think of it just being dumped in a skip or something. So it's actually mentioned in my will, and I've got 2 friends who have volunteered to take care of it as and when the time comes. So no, either my husband or my son haven't got to do it, and these are crafting friends who will know how to find good homes for everything. But yeah, I think it's a huge thing. So I do feel quite. I think it's like I've been saying with the vintage threads that I bought, and those magazines that I got, and, you know, the little piece of lace that Paula sent me that her friend's mum made, you know, it really, and I haven't done the great big little stitchery swap this time. I've sat this one out, but in the first 2, that having something in your hands that someone else has worked on or someone else has collected up, it just connects you with that person. There's something. I think that's what's so special about this kind of community of ours that's grown up around these stitching and other crafts that we love to do. I'm aware that I'm gabbling away. I do feel quite. I feel very, very lucky and very inspired by this collection. Is obviously Beryl had a really good eye for pattern and colour. She bought good quality fabrics. I mean, this is quilter's heaven or slow stitcher's heaven, or, you know. It's a lovely mixture of colours, and it's also a good mix of, there's some plains in there, there's some what we used to call blenders, I don't know if they still call them blenders, where you've got just like a subtle pattern in them, and then there's different sizes of prints, small, medium and big, bold prints, which are brilliant when you come to mix fabrics together. I've just got so much scope here. I didn't expect such huge pieces. These are not scraps, and I think there's quite a few of these I've now earmarked as I've gone through that will end up in my vintage stitchery, my dictionary of stitches book, and that'll be a really nice way to keep some of the little pieces that Beryl had stashed away. I just thought one of the things that struck me when I got those needlework magazines back from the 30s, and I bought a little stash of embroidery transfers that had come out of those needlework magazines, and I just thought we're all the same, and we always were the same. People bought the magazine because they thought they wanted to do this. They wanted the free transfer. They stashed the free transfer away. Never quite got around to doing it. But every so often they would take it out and have a look and stroke it and put it away again. And there's something very connected. It just makes me feel connected with other stitchers, past and present. You know, I know I'm sounding a bit over dramatic, but I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that feeling. I think I will. It's just made me think something that hadn't occurred to me to do before, but in my vintage stitchery book, I think I'm going to embroider the names of the people that I know about that these pieces that I'm using came from. I don't know the names of all of them, you know, but yeah, where I know them. So Beryl's name will be embroidered somewhere into my vintage stitchery book. Also Paula's friends, I do know Paula's friend's name, I'm just not saying it to sort of mind her privacy until she says it's all right to share the story, but Deborah's mum's name will now get embroidered under that piece of lace. I don't know why it hadn't occurred to me to do that before, but that's definitely going to be happening now. I feel very, very privileged to have this small part. It's not small, it's absolutely massive, but apparently there was a massive hoard of crafting supplies to go through. All kinds, obviously Beryl was into all kinds of other crafts apart from just stitching as well, and I can relate to that too. I'm the same. Shell, I don't know what else to say. I feel like words aren't enough. That was so super generous of you to take the time and trouble to send that parcel to me. I will make very good use of every single piece, I promise, and that's all I can say really. Thank you, and you will see lots and lots of projects coming up over the next few months and probably years where I'll be using these fabrics. So thanks again, thanks to everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I've been going on for, oh crikey, nearly an hour, so I will have to speed through the going through bit, because I know lots of people out there do like looking through fabric stashes, but there's a limit, isn't there? Okay, I'm going to go away now, make myself a cup of coffee and go back through this all again slowly and pull out some pieces to put with my vintage stitchery basket. Thanks very much again for joining me today, and I'll see you again really soon.